and one of my favorites is right here ahead of us on the river. It's been here a little bit. It's about 20 years already. Gosh. It's called Riverview. See it? Well, you got a choice there too. Would you like a 4-story townhome on the river? Perhaps you'd be pleased with condominium in one of its towers. Now remember this. These are a lot of money. It's a lot. But I don't care what you spent. You wake up in the morning and you look out, but you might see me sitting on the bench in front of your house. Well, I just got through bragging about the lakefront is public. Well, as you look around here, every inch of the Chicago River is also public property. For example, the penthouse in the West Tower here last fall reportedly sells for $15 million. But that fella here, he shares a space along the river with all of us. This is public Riverview. This ain't a bad view either, is it? Tallest building in Chicago, you know, I mentioned Sears, known as the Willis. Number 3 is this brand new one here, St. Regis. Number 2, if you're looking forward, the Biden building. Don't get your pants on fire, Trumpers. That's a joke. But Trump Tower is second tallest. It was completed here back in 2009, and it is a hotel and condominiums above. I'll mention a little bit more about it when we pass. By the way, the city of Chicago today is home to 2,700,000. That's how many live in the city. The metropolitan area, if you consider city and suburbs, about 10 million. It's a lovely fountain that's off now for some reason, and it's not so lovely when off. Too bad. Hotels surrounding us. Right here on the right, this is the Sheraton Grand Hotel. Huge hotel, 1990. Boy, a victim of COVID, like much of the tourist industry. They were closed for months last year. You know, that translates into thousands of jobs. People work here, but they're open. And hopefully, as we are, we're glad you rode with us, getting back. Let me squeeze one in. Look ahead right. You're gonna see a building with an unusual yellow onion dome above. It's coming into view. Today, the building is known as the Hotel Intercontinental. See it? All right, the yellow onion dome and the rest of the building is sort of designed with a Moorish or Egyptian motif to it. But how about this? When first completed, 1930, it's the Medina Athletic Club, and men only are allowed in the building in 1930. You know, I'm very surprised. Are you with this guy? You didn't hear? I did. This fella right here just said, those were the good old days. That's the guy that said it, right there. Shame. He didn't say that, of course. I figured a good sport, I'd hope. But that's what it was, men only, can you believe it? You know, the Shriners, the Medina, long ago, that changed. It's the Hotel Intercontinental. Let me show you a landmark building as we continue west. The Wrigley Building to the right. Again, neo-classic, very decorative architecture. How about this? The Wrigley Building is best seen after dark. In fact, since its first day, because each evening it is brightly lit with floodlighting from across the street, and it reflects off the fireproof terracotta cladding. The Wrigley, designed by the Wrigley Chewing Gum Candy Company. They're gone. New owners have redeveloped what is the landmark Wrigley Building office space. You know, the owners of the Cubs at one time, Wrigley Field. Hey, the Cubs are playing the Sox. That don't happen often. East of Carolina. It's a ball game. Maybe that's fun. Let me tell you a little something about the Trump Tower. The lead architect for the building is a Chicagoan. The gentleman's name is Adrian Smith. Adrian Smith is the lead architect for the world's tallest building. You guys know the name of the world's tallest? He knows. The Burj Khalifa, known as the Burj Dubai. How tall is it? Well, picture Trump Tower, and then try to envision another one on top. That is the height of the Burj Khalifa. That's a tall building, huh? 2009. Parking, hotel, condominiums. I pointed out a few buildings that are called postmodern. Well, what precedes is called modernist or international. That style, you're familiar. Look to the right here. That basic steel box, tinted windows and I-beams. You know, in the 1950s, 60s, into the 70s, that is a dominant style of commercial architecture. An architect from Germany coming here to Chicago in 1938 is the father of the style, Mies van der Rohe. Less is more, that's the motto for Van der Rohe. No non-essential decor. Today, this is the American Medical Association building, and on the lower floors you'd find the lovely Langham Hotel. Hi there. You know, people love to wave to you when you're in a boat. I don't know why. They wave from other boats, they wave from bridges. I drive around in my car in Chicago, nobody waves. But when you get here on the river, they all do. How about this unique property on your right? This is Marina Towers, also known as Marina City. This is a pioneer because when completed back in 1967, the very first residential property ever built on the Chicago River. Today there are many residential buildings here on the river, but they were first. 20 floors of parking, 40 floors condominiums, 60-story towers. If you live there, you do not drive your own car. You hand your keys to the valet, he takes it up, you go to your unit. Well, as you may have already noticed, there are many cafes and restaurants embracing the river. Here on your right, these are new. Hi, they're waving. Hi. RPM Seafood, obvious. First level, Pizzeria Portofino. And by the way, this is the American Bar Association building, representing, of course, thousands of lawyers from around the U.S. American Bar Association. It's a 1980 building. We already talked about Reed Murdoch, one of the few warehouses. You know, this was a working river years ago. Not only warehouses, grain elevators, lumber yards. Most all of that's gone. Reed Murdoch, as I mentioned, office space today. Another modernist, or actually postmodern with the glass. This is about a 12-year-old office building. We're at 300 North LaSalle. Oh, I gotta tell you, this is last week. Young couple celebrating their second anniversary, they told me, from Rockford, Illinois. Young lady said, "Sir, can you recommend a nice, inexpensive steakhouse for us?" No. There's a lot of nice steakhouses. That word inexpensive is not part of that deal. A lot of them are nice, but not inexpensive. The merchandise mart on your right, how about this? 4 million square feet. 2 city blocks and 5 acres. When first completed back in 1930, you're looking at the largest building in the world. I believe today only the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. has more floor space. It's Art Deco in its design. And today it's home to hundreds of showrooms. They display furniture and apparel and There are many corporate offices in, again, a landmark merchandise market. If you notice the sculptures there, it's called the Merchants Hall of Fame. Some of you remember Montgomery Ward, Marshall Fields, Edward Filene, merchants from the 20th century. Remember I mentioned the junction? Well, here we are. The main branch meets North Branch, right, south, left. Does the city change? My God, it's amazing. On your right, 5 summers ago, on ancient history, this is a parking lot. As we're passing this afternoon, 3 skyscrapers, 2 complete, 1 being built. The first one, glass, residential, the East Tower. The one in the center, this is Salesforce Tower, under construction. And excuse me, on the right, the West Tower, residential. Nothing 5 years ago, parking lot. This afternoon, 3 skyscrapers. Pretty amazing. And new ones here as we're turning to the South Branch. On your right, River Point, 5-year-old office building there. But the next building ahead right is super. Modern technology allows the L trains in Chicago to pass up north. I went by too fast when we were joking. Look at this building on the right. For over 100 years, this was an empty lot. Why? You can't build here, there's no room. You darn sure can't build a skyscraper. Look what the architects did. James Getch and Partners from Chicago. The base of the building, as you notice, very narrow, a narrow footprint. As the structure rises to about the 3rd floor, it at that point dramatically flares out on each side, and then it carries to 54 stories. Measure twice, cut once. That is dramatic and amazing modern architecture. The tuning fork building. Oh, wow. Say, I'll bet you're familiar on your right again. We're passing international headquarters for Boeing. Boeing Aircraft, their headquarters here on the river. Previously Seattle, they've been here a while, about 16 years I believe. The building is from 1990, Boeing. No, they don't make any planes here, but this is the headquarters for Boeing. And it has been for a long time. By the way, you know, if we continued south like this, the captain could take our vessel all the way to the Gulf of Mexico and the port of New Orleans, and all the way through. Now, we're not going to do that. Actually, we don't have enough beer, so we'll turn. Now, you would call the buildings on each side of us right now Art Deco. The one on the right here, well, the water taxi is turning. This one's from, again, 1929. It is the first